Hi, Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining the Business Corner.
Well, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here today.
I'm happy to have you. So, as the president of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, what are some of the major challenges facing business owners in the Philadelphia region?
In the region, what we're finding is that Latino business owners tend to start their businesses smaller and stay smaller even as they mature when you would expect them to grow. And so scaling is particularly a challenge in the Latino community as it is in many communities of color for small business owners.
So, tell us about how the Greater Philadelphia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is working to support its member businesses.
Well, we are very concentrated in supporting them scale. So a lot of what we do is connecting them to networks, connecting them to solutions and experts, as well as providing them with the education and the tools and the information they need to grow and scale and even start businesses as well.
So, you've been in this position for 8 years. So, what is your approach to leadership?
I would like to think of myself as a facilitator, a person that tries and provides autonomy and I provide direction, I provide support. But a lot of the work that I want to see the staff do is I want them to be creative. I want them to feel like they have authority to manage their workflow, to make decisions. I always say, but with that comes responsibility. And the number one responsibility is don't surprise me.
Yeah.
I don't like surprises. If things are not going well, I want to know. If things are going well, I want to know. But hopefully, as I was saying earlier, the team has been together now for at least 5 or 6 years. So I would like to think that's a testament to that kind of leadership.
I agree.
Works.
So, is there, like, on a state level, I know you guys do a whole bunch of advocacy, but also on the local level, I'm seeing you in communities and in neighborhoods. And, as you are listening to small business owners, the investment is so crucial to their development and their growth. What do you think, or do you think there needs to be additional investment from the local and state level to help enhance businesses in the Hispanic community?
Well, it's really fantastic that you're asking that question because at the state level, I'm involved in this group that is looking at entrepreneurship for small businesses. And they're doing a lot of data comparison and mapping. And the definition for small businesses in this case are enterprises of 50 and fewer employees, right? Oftentimes people say, businesses with 500 employees are small. Well, not in my case, not in the way that we talk about it, right? So all of that to say that Pennsylvania starts small businesses at a lower rate than the national average.
Yeah.
Yet Pennsylvania, the success rate of those businesses is much better than for other states.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that we're not starting businesses at the same rate, but those that start stay alive. They don't die as often as in other places. So Pennsylvania is doing something right in sustaining businesses. But we have a lot of work to do in starting businesses. So businesses it's hard to start them here. So I would say absolutely. We must do at the state level and at the local level as much as we can to help those businesses start. What I did not say is that what we don't know is whether there's a gap between diverse or minority-owned businesses and non-minority businesses. My expectation is that we would see a gap in performance in terms of more Black, Brown-owned, Asian-owned businesses. Probably the die rate is higher than for non-minority businesses. That is my expectation.
And so part of that has to do with, some of the reduction of taxes in the state of Philadelphia, which they did about a year ago, right? Reducing the wage and BERT tax. And so do you think there should be more that the city, I'm going to say you agree, right, that the city of Philadelphia should do in order to lower it to create more jobs and fuel growth.
Yes. So
I already knew that was a given.
Of course, as a business organization, we want to say, of course, lower taxes, lower the cost of doing business. But it's very serious, right? We are not starting businesses as much as we would like to. And businesses in Black and brown communities are not scaling at the rate that we would like to see them. A lot of that has to do with three things. We call them the 3 C's.
Okay.
It is the cost of doing business, the complexity of doing business, and the crime and safety in our communities. Those 3 things must be addressed. You can't pick one and not do the others. So we have to do the best that we can to lower the cost of doing business. Philadelphia has what they call a BERT tax, which is a double tax.
Yes, it is.
Right? And no other city has it, as far as I know. We have a pretty high wage tax. Those 2 things really detract and prevent people from starting businesses in the city of Philadelphia. They start them in other locations around the city, right? Like Conshohocken, Bala Cynwyd, and we want to see the city benefit from entrepreneurship.
So how important is it to you to have diversity in business? Now, yes, you represent the largest Hispanic chamber, but talking to your business owners, what does that look like in terms of hearing their concerns about diversity and inclusion?
Well, so there are a number of ways of looking at it. Typically, in government, we talk about supplier diversity, and we talk about increasing supply in the supply chain diversity. All of that means is that at the city level, government and politicians want to see more Black, brown, Asian, women-owned, disabled businesses getting contracts with other large businesses, institutions, and government, because very few businesses that are diverse have those opportunities and are successful at doing it. So that's one thing. The other thing that I think about a lot is entrepreneurs of color don't know one another.
Right.
Like Latinos know Latinos, and Asians know Asians, and African Americans know African Americans. It's like, but they don't cross-pollinate. And I think it's all good and great to try and diversify the supply chain, but I think the more natural and probably the easiest and success to obtain is doing business to business with other people and other organizations that are around sort of the same cohort, right? So to that extent, we are collaborating with the Asian Chamber, African American Chamber, and the LGBTQ Chamber on a program that we call Accelerate Business, which is a scaling program. And so now we have cohorts that have members from the different chambers coming together. And in fact, the African American Chamber and the Hispanic Chamber have a grant to do a technology program this year.
Okay.
So that's a real strong collaboration there as well.
So I love that. And as we think about building upon the collaboration in the region, what are some of the thoughts that you have going into 2024 that, the Hispanic Chamber is doing to help grow and sustain small businesses?
Well, we have our education programs. One of them that we are very proud of is what we call Build Latino, which is concentrated on the construction industry. There are so many opportunities when you go around the region, around the country. Really, we are all the infrastructure, construction, all the housing that's being built, and you can imagine Philadelphia. In this region, the housing stock is so old, everybody's renovating.
Right.
So we're going to be in construction for quite a while around here, right? And so Latinos participate in the construction industry at very high rates, but they participate on the labor side of things. They're the workers. We don't have as many larger scale construction businesses. Of course, there are some, but we would like to see more. So what we're doing now is with this program, which is entirely in Spanish, entirely virtual, we introduce contractors and small construction firms to the principles, the practices, the very fundamentals they need to understand if they want to run a construction operation. because construction is very risky. It is risky because it requires a lot of equipment, capital. It's risky because of insurance. It's risky because you get paid and then, or you do the work and then don't get paid. And so how do you get paid after you did the work and things of that nature, right? So we try and educate them around, really, what do you really, really need to be aware of so that you can put those basics in place so you can succeed.
I love that. You're moving them from just the labor mindset, like, yes, I can do the job. Yes, I can lay the concrete. I can, believe me, every time we're looking to hire, we're going to the Latino community, right? So, but now you're putting them in the chair of entrepreneurship, right? And you're telling them, we're going to find the resources. We're going to get you the jobs. We're going to tell you where your protections are. And we're going to lead. We're going to lead you into growth.
You're going to get OSHA certified. You're going to learn how to do blueprints.
That's
you're going to
awesome.
learn how to read a contract. And you're going to meet the people that can make a difference in the success of your business.
Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining the Business Corner. This has been truly a pleasure.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for having me.